Hello, everyone. Lance is pissing. He's gonna go piss. Can't hear what I'm saying. He has no idea. He's looking because he knows. I'm saying something. Yeah, go piss. Piss. You know he's doing it. Slime chat is now the Goo Crew. Serfs chat is called the Piss Gang. I agree with the Goo Crew part. I don't think we should impose Piss Gang on Lance unless that's. Well, maybe that's what he wants to call his chat. I don't know. Lance's chat, if you're listening to me speak, decide for yourselves. If you want to be part of the Piss Gang, then let that be known to Lance. Make sure to inform him that that's your desire. And I legally can't stop you. I have no power over it. I don't think he's going to be happy with the way that the stream has developed in his absence. Hey, bud. Hey. Yeah, maybe don't reach out for a while.
Don't reach out for a while? All I can see is a lot of things saying, talking about piss.
Well, that's weird. Nothing to do with me. So the CIA is getting them aliens, huh? Crazy video.
You're lucky there's no technology that exists that allows me to rewind anything that's happened. We're not there yet. Should we have been there, things would be very different.
Someone in your chat suggested that my chat be called the Goo Crew, that yours be called the Piss Gang. I said, I approve of Goo Crew. In your absence, I can't decide that for you. So I left it up to chat to decide whether or not they wanted to be known as the Piss Gang.
Wow, that's terrible.
And, Golden Surfers, there you go.
I was like, why are they all writing piss on me and beat me? What part of that was in the proposal?
You're going to get a weird email from Twitch later.
I know. It's like, what have you been teaching your chat? So this is former CIA director now thinks aliens might be real. Navy issues statement on creepy UFO incident. Now, if I was to put the over-under on where this one is going to go, in terms of will they be talking about aliens, the Navy, or any of that by the end of it, my money's on something completely different that has no connection to the original topic at hand.
Yeah, I think they're going to start talking about Halo or the Chitauri or Vulcans or something. We'll see.
We're going to talk about some serious stuff, but you know what? No, we're not.
No, I don't.
Speaking of Mars and aliens and whatever other nonsense we've been talking about, check the story out from the Daily Mail. Former director of the CIA, James Woolsey, says he was skeptical about aliens until a friend's aircraft was paused at 40,000 feet, and he hopes we can be friendly to the other creatures if they exist. Let me say that again. Until a friend's aircraft was paused 4,000 feet. What is that, like tractor beam? Like,
who's it? What friend is he talking about?
It's the only thing that could mean.
Again, starting right out of the gates with Daily Mail.
He saw a friend's aircraft get paused?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or, look.
I mean, he could have had a stroke.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I was just watching Star Trek earlier, and it was the episode where time keeps freezing. Have you guys seen that one?
I've seen them all.
Until a friend's aircraft.
Sorry. So fast we got to Star Trek.
Yeah,
so fast.
That's funny how you said the thing, because you said it as a meme, but then he did the meme in real life.
You know, what's interesting is I was going to say, and I'll give him credit for this. He's exceeded my expectations here. Because when I said Star Trek, I was going to walk that back and say, Star Trek is probably a bit cerebral for Tim Pool. But he's once again surpassed my expectations. He watches Star Trek. I underestimated him.
Yeah.
I was just watching Star Trek earlier, and it was the episode where time keeps freezing. Have you guys seen that one?
I've seen them all.
They're in the
Weird
runabout, the
flex,
shuttle,
but okay.
and then all of a sudden, Deanna Troi is sitting there, and everyone just freezes, like stops in time. And it's because there's fragments of space-time continuum moving, like shattering all around them, and they're
like a
moving
mushroom
through 'em.
trip. Oh my god.
So anyway, to then hear this story, I'm like,
That's what happened.
That's brilliant.
That's crazy. Check it out. Woolsey said that stories always seemed pretty far out to me. But there was one case in which a friend of mine was able to have his aircraft stop at 40,000 feet or so and not continue operating as a normal aircraft. What was going on? I don't know. Does anybody know? Woolsey said the source was someone I respect. John Greenwald Jr., the host, pointed out that the other former CIA directors have said they are open to the possibility of alien life. In December, John Brennan told a podcast he felt it was arrogant to believe that we were alone in the universe. Life
Brennan said during the...
This
This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is just them saying, yeah, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Think there's aliens? Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Maybe. We'll find out. Yeah.
CIA director says there's aliens.
Navy issue statement. Creepy UFO incident.
during the December episode. Now, hold on. This story comes out, right? Another story came out. Another story comes out around the same time. What's up with this? NBC News. Drones that swarmed U.S. warships are still unidentified, Navy chief says. The military is expected to deliver.
That's alien. That's gotta be aliens.
Gotta be.
Gotta be. Gotta be. There's no human culture. There's no human civilization on Earth that can make drones.
Yep. Unidentified
Got it.
aerial phenomena. Yeah.
Airtight. Airtight.
This is from April 5th, 11:24 p.m. Just last night, they published this story. A bunch of naval destroyers have tic-tac shaped objects hovering for 90
Oh my
minutes
God,
at
you're
high
connecting the
speed,
stories.
just sitting there, beyond commercial drone technology, and they don't know what it is.
He's
How is it
Talked
beyond?
about
How
it.
is it
He
beyond
was like,
commercial
whatever's
drone
going on with
technology?
These things.
well,
What did it do that a drone can't do?
I was also going to say that like he's actually doing the meme, you know, where all the dots are being connected on the wall and the string and the thing and this thing leads to that and it's you know
This one leads to Pepe Sylvia.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Everything he described, but like he just described the basic functions of a drone and said it's far beyond drone technology here
It's
on
unlike
Earth.
anything we've ever seen.
This one can stop and hover in midair. Like the thing that the main thing that they do,
that they've been designed to do.
what they're for. A helicopter can do that too, but like
For our military installations, it's like a national security breach. Like our security has been breached, and we don't know what it is. It's a major threat to this country. Then we get this story coming out where the dude's like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my friend's aircraft was frozen at 40,000 feet." What is that?
it can't be a coincidence.
No, the dots have been connected.
It can't be.
No, because like I said, you see, there's string here, and then it connects to the other article, and then it's spoopy when they connect like that.
I'm starting to think maybe they planted that episode of Star Trek so that I would watch it today.
It would make sense.
I'm starting to think that was no coincidence. Deep State is controlling the sci-fi network's programming.
Can you explain that? I can't.
And it can't be.
Aliens.
So I think this could be three different things, and I'm gonna probably forget them as I list them. But one, I mean, there could be some technology that China made that got in because they're targeting the
Of
military
course.
bases. They're not no
Naturally,
normal
it
people
has
are
to
saying
be the
this. People-
Chinese.
What it's got to
Chinese. Yeah.
I want to jump to conclusions here.
Yeah.
I don't want to start getting into paranoid ideas about aliens.
No.
It's probably just a secret Chinese weapon that's infiltrating our military and getting all of the secrets.
And it's so advanced we don't understand what it is yet. That's got to be what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
That's
close.
probably
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Clear as day now.
Seeing this, people in the military are seeing this. I'm not seeing it. You're not seeing it. You know,
What if it's
it could be aliens that are like, all right, we've targeted the uranium. I have no idea. Could be aliens. All right. Okay, I'll put it out there. Could be aliens. We could have aliens. All right.
That's one of the
it could
two
be that they
possible
do know what it
explanations.
is, but aliens are more interesting.
Yes.
And so it's going to distract us from whatever it is that is.
All right, she's
trying to
narrowed it
kill us.
down. Only one option
Or-
left.
It could be that they just put stories like this out. Well, they're passing draconian legislation, so we're distracted. I don't know. I got to look and see.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only other option.
It's the only other thing it could be.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a cloud.
A drone.
Yeah.
Anything.
Some kid. Yeah.
A bird.
Like a mistake in the radar program.
Yeah,
No, that's
a
probably what they're
glitch in
doing.
the software, human error, any number of things.
They knew if they said that we might have seen something that we can't explain, but there's no reason to jump to conclusions. Everybody would just assume it's aliens, and that would
Yes.
take over the news cycle. That's why we keep hearing about this story everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Right? It's because they're trying to distract us.
But clearly, it's to pass draconian legislation. I hadn't thought of that, and now that she said it,
Yeah.
it's all I can think. Yeah,
Or it's Chinese people
that true,
are
true.
enemies.
And they're the enemies, and they also have really scary technology that we don't know yet.
scary.
Yeah, it's really scary Chinese technology.
scary.
But that's one of the only three possible answers that's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on? legislature right
true.
now. Mm-hmm.
That's
It
true.
could
Yeah,
be that
don't
Earth
push
is
back.
a zoo. You know the
true.
great zoo hypothesis? You guys know about
Oh yeah, it's probably Earth is a zoo. Let me break it down for you. I know why the aliens are coming to Earth. It's probably because we're a zoo. Is the thing?
I'm gonna say I'm out of my depth here. I'm not familiar with the Great Zoo
I
hypothesis.
know a lot about I know a lot about aliens, and the thing is, we put animals in zoos, right? And they're like we're like animals to them, so they put us in a zoo. That's probably what they're doing. I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably
Interesting.
just Earth is a zoo.
So the end of Men in Black is what you're saying. The
It's your
end.
classic end of Men in Black
Then
scenario.
okay,
yeah.
cool. All right, neat. Just so I know where I'm at. I want to have my feet grounded on this one.
the general idea is like if the universe is so vast and massive and life does exist, then shouldn't we have found some evidence of intelligent life somewhere else at some point? And so then there's a bunch of answers people propose, like there's the great, I think, was it called the Great Barrier or something?
He's
I don't know.
flirting with the
Filter.
Fermi
Great filter,
paradox
sorry.
right now.
That all life
Yeah.
at a certain point wipes itself out for some reason. One of them is the zoo hypothesis, that Earth is effectively a zoo and that we're in a big cage where the aliens come to watch us and giggle at the stupid things that humans do. I think South Park called it reality TV, that Earth was just a reality TV show for the aliens and they all
I don't think South Park was actually positing that, Tim. I it was a joke.
I believe
I don't
South
think that
Park
was meant to be
South Park
read as
demonstrated
heady,
effectively
speculative sci-fi.
in season 12, episode 6. I believe it was affirmatively confirmed that South Park indeed proved the theory. I guess that one was after the talking fecal matter.
watched and laughed at us, and then they canceled us and they were going to blow the Earth up, and they got them to change
I
their
remember
mind.
that.
Cancel
Yeah,
culture,
yeah,
am I
yeah.
right?
There's another really creepy idea of what it could be. Why we haven't seen anybody, because the more intelligent beings out there know that there is something bigger and worse than anything in the universe. They know what it is, and they don't want it to find us. But we're stupid.
Well, I agree with part of your theory.
Yeah, there's something out there they know about. They don't want it to find
It's a
them. But
half-truth.
Earth's like, hey, let's
It's a
look
half-truth.
Yep.
yeah, let's.
They're not even speculating on whether or not it's aliens at this point. They're just taking
No.
it for granted why it
We've
is aliens. and
moved
what the
beyond
aliens
that,
must be doing.
Matt. We're beyond this now. Okay, you have to catch up. Now we have to explain. You're still worried about the why. I'm worried about the when.
Yeah, it's like, well, the aliens put balloons on Earth, so probably what it is there's a devourer culture that they're protecting us from.
Yeah, of
Either
course.
that or we're a zoo. It's one of those.
One
sort
of those
things.
two. I think South Park proved it in an episode or something like that.
Hey, I mean, you gotta have a pretty high IQ. Watch South Park, so I don't understand if you hadn't seen the episode, but it's basically the Made Earth a reality TV show.
This one's good.
We're sitting there going,
This one's
like,
good.
Hello?
This feels
Like,
classic.
It's like,
Yep.
it's like the friend who walks, like the friend walks into the where the murderer's like looking
Yes,
around.
exactly.
They're like, Janet, where are you? I'm
Yes.
over here, and the murderer's like walking up.
I'm
That's
standing by the
exactly.
door. I
So-
don't have
so
anything
that's-
on me.
That's
and
the
then when they
theory.
run, they trip.
That theory also.
See, everybody, when I was talking about Cabin in the Woods before Lance came on the stream, this is what I was talking about. This exact shit. This is Cabin in the Woods has the same level of criticism of horror movies that Tim Pool and Moonlord have.
Now I see.
So it has a name. I don't remember what the name of the theory is, but it was like kind of gave me chills the first time I read it. I'm like, wow, we're dumb.
We're like out into the dark.
We're like yelling, hello.
I don't like the Fermi paradox theory that if life is here, then why haven't we found? Shouldn't we have found it? Because we just found out ice was on Mars like 6 years ago, and that there's likely life within the frozen water, and on Europa as well, one of Jupiter's moons.
And we also speculate as to would intelligent life develop EMF technology and broadcast
Right.
anything? It's really funny that
Like
we're
dolphins.
like, we just started using radio waves and now we assume everybody to be using them. I think it's a waste, kind of a waste of money to a certain degree. Like we're building these giant space telescopes that I understand to look at stuff. But then we also have SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, where we're looking for like radio waves and stuff. It's like, that's still cool. It's something we should still do.
I mean, we also have NFTs. So, like, we build things that have no practical use whatsoever to humanity. I mean, just because someone else is curious and you're not about a subject, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's like by virtue.
Oh no, he's desperately backpedaling from a dumb thing he was about to say, which is that there's no purpose for radio.
Yes.
But this also in the previous episode, he criticized the loony lefties for being mad that Elon Musk put a car in space because that inspires kids to do science. The same science that he's like, it's a waste of money. We probably shouldn't be doing it. Why are we trying to learn all this shit about the universe?
Nerds.
You know?
We'll find alien life is a good motivation to do it because we'll probably discover other things. But this idea that in the past 100 years or 150 years, we started using radio waves, and now we're assuming other intelligent life would use the same technology. They could be using like light fidelity technology. You know, we have that now as well, fiber optics, for instance. They could use a laser that flickers to broadcast data.
They should have
We're not
plugged
going to
in.
see that from far away.
Probably using a laser that flickers instead of, because there's no
assuming it's a laser, it's probably a laser. Probably.
Yeah, because there's no practical application of radio that a laser couldn't take care of.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And it's pointless to think otherwise or to do anything about it. That would.
Yeah, you gotta build a telescope to find lasers in space. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your money.
That I was hearing that I don't know too much about this, but one thing that I heard that built into the universe is like math, because math is like universal. I mean, unless you live on Earth, when 2 + 2 is 5.
Yes.
But they try to.
Oh,
What does that even mean?
Oh, she threw that one in there. Oh, that's been
even mean though?
It's been a right-wing talking point for a while. It gets into the whole 1986 George Orwell cancel culture. The truth is no longer the truth.
Oh, I thought she was going in a very different direction.
No, that's.
I thought
the
she was
meme.
complaining about like calculus and how like 1.9 repeating equals 2.
No, it's a long-standing meme about, I don't know if you had to read 1984 in school, or if you read it for pleasure, or if you've read it more than Dave Rubin has, but they talk about. I read
it for pleasure. In fact.
Okay, so you know about how there is truth, like deontological truth, in that there are things that we will know that will remain to be true outside of human knowledge, and yet we are trying to transform those. And the right wingers have taken that and they're running with it now, saying that like the left are trying to push things that are anti-truth, like trans ideology and other boogeymen like that, basically.
Cool.
Yeah, so cool. So cool.
So
bro.
cool.
So cool.
Stuff like that out. 1 + 1 is 2. Like things that make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
4,000 feet. What is that?
shit.
Hypothesis?
Oh, yeah.
There's no other intelligent life.
Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that probably the math they're sending out in space to find aliens is more complicated than 1 + 1 = 2. Probably a little bit.
Yeah, by a small amount.
To everybody.
You know what it is? We're in a simulation.
Oh.
There's
yeah,
no other
yeah.
intelligent life
Yeah.
because we're in a simulation. And what
Simulate
we're seeing,
that.
These Tic Tac things, they're game mods. They're game
Probably
managers.
game
They're
mods.
ads.
Yeah, obviously.
So
Cool.
it's a nondescript vehicle,
That's
a tic
why.
tap that can move around.
Everyone's an
outside the
NPC
laws of
except for
physics.
me.
Yeah, it's basically let me break it down for you, you sheep. We're living in a simulation, and those are the assets that they bought. Don't have a lot of textures because that would cost more money.
It's a bad expansion pack.
Basically, we're living in the Unreal Engine, and that's probably what's happening. That's why there's no aliens.
Also,
Get
it's rich coming from a person who looks like the literal NPC meme. Like it looks as if he was the model for the NPC meme.
He looks like the Doomer meme, I thought.
But yeah, true. Yeah, he's any number of Wojaks.
It's a moderator.
If you think about when everything really went to HE double hockey sticks was
Oh
when
my God! Back to they can't say certain things.
The Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah. It was 2012.
Yeah.
Trump.
Everything was really good before 2012.
Yeah, it's the Hadron Collider that's done everything wrong, trying to further our knowledge of the known universe. Like, what?
One bad thing that happened before then. Name one bad thing that happened before then. I'm just saying.
True. You
Can't do it.
Can't do it. All right. I stand corrected. I will be silent. Large Hadron Collider.
Yep. So, and at the same time, they waived, they repealed and replaced the Propaganda Act. At the same time, they turned on the Hadron
Large Hadron
was
Can
that?
we make this
Yeah.
movie? Can I like? Is there a filmmaker out there who wants to make a movie about the Large Hadron Collider fires and it causes a big like
It
ripple,
rips.
Ripple in
and
Yep.
the space-time continuum that
Yes.
blankets the Earth, and then all of a sudden it's like you see Hillary Clinton walking up to accept the win on
Oh my
election
God.
night, and then all of a sudden it just like flickers,
Flickers,
and then she
yes.
turns into Trump, and it's like, and they're watching in a protective sphere as reality is being changed around them. They're like, "What have we done?"
Yeah.
I think yes, there is. And partly because you just
Okay,
called for it.
hold on. great moment to top in. I was gonna add there, your science fiction idea is much better than that one.
Yeah.
I would rather watch your movie than watch whatever the hell that was just described to me, okay?
They basically just described an alternate universe. Like
Yes.
that's in a lot of science fiction stories.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, you're describing pretty much a lot of the genre, but go on.
Alien life is out there, and as soon as we say alien life, come to us, it's like I want to go in that direction. Like inspiration
Magnetic
strikes.
pull.
And
Wait. Here's what I'm imagining. Like all of these world leaders are in this.
Shut the fuck up, Moonlord. Shut the fuck up. Here's what I'm imagining. Shut the fuck up. We're still on my thing. Shut up. Stop talking about the topic that we brought up that this video is about. I'm talking about my cool movie. Shut the fuck up.
I'm also so ready for this. I can't wait to hear his new idea.
protective space-time bubble as they're about to fire the Large Hadron Collider, and then they watch reality shift around them, and like Hillary flickers and then turns into Trump, and now Trump's the winner, and they're like, "What have we done?" And the world leaders are like, "We must fix this," and they try to fire up the Large Hadron Collider again, but then a magnet breaks, and they're like, "Oh no, the machine's broken. We're trapped in this dimension." And so then they have to spend 4 years accusing Trump of being a Russian spy.
we
and
must
trying to
build
get
a
rid of him.
wall. And they're like, what have we done? It's broken. Fix
So wait, the world leaders were at Large Hadron Collider when it went off and they were in the bubble?
They also just described what they actually kind of like think happened for the past 4 years. I mean, minus the science fiction aspects of it and everything, and the body changing, but otherwise.
It was also the plot of an episode of The Good Fight,
Oh, nice.
for the record. Not with the sci-fi Large Hadron Collider bit, but someone wakes up in a world and Hillary Clinton is president instead of Trump, and she's like, "Don't you remember? Like Trump was president," and everybody was like, "You're crazy. Here's what happened in our world." This is
we must build.
And then they're like, "We're running out of power," and they're like, "No,
There was some
we're
kind of an
reality where Trump is president."
there was some kind of an animal that got into that area.
Squirrel.
Yeah, it was a squirrel or a
squirrel?
or a monkey. I don't
Chasing
remember.
a
Some kind of animal that got into the Hadron
monkey
Collider. I'm
chasing
like,
a
you know what?
squirrel.
I'm like,
The squirrel.
I'm like,
Oh, Moonlord really liked that one.
someone turned themselves into this thing to stop this from happening, and they're dead now.
It's a squirrel,
Yeah.
and it's chasing. It finds an acorn. The acorn's bouncing down the hill, and it's chasing after it. And then it falls into a vent. The squirrel jumps in. and the
Again,
squirrel's
Ice
in the-
Age.
Okay,
That's
if-
the character from Ice Age.
True. And also, we're watching a video on former CIA director now. They say it's like, even by his standards, this one is off the rails. Impressive. I'm always impressed. I'm always impressed how far
When
we
we
can go.
got here, someone was on like a Navy ship and they pointed out and they're like, "What's that?" And someone else was like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
They report that and it was like, "Yeah, we're probably living in a simulation." And
Yeah.
Large Hadron Collider, when
What
that went
if?
off, probably changed reality.
This reminds me of a movie idea I've wanted to pitch for some time.
Good Lord, write this down. Write this down.
Get this down.
I call it Tim's Crazy Movie.
The squirrel's in the Large Hadron Collider, and it's falling right when he gets to the middle of it. The proton goes right through and mixes with squirrel proton
Oh
of
gosh,
some sort,
explains so much.
and then it causes a
Yes.
ripple.
Antimatter explosion plus squirrel.
Yeah.
Plus squirrel.
But in all seriousness, there was an animal that did get into the Hadron Collider.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
well,
telling
now
you the truth.
Oh my.
There
What kind
were-
of- any idea what kind of animal?
I can't remember, but somebody can look it up.
I remember reading this story about a dude.
Oh,
who
yeah,
was-
no, it's probably an alien. That
Yeah.
got
Oh
in,
no,
right?
it has to be. It has to be. There's no
Probably.
explaining it. I mean, it's that, or maybe it's technology from China. Don't forget.
Yeah, it could have been a Chinese alien from
Could have been a
space
Chinese
China.
Chinese weapon alien. Could have been that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
was in a not the Large Hadron Collider, but he was in a super collider, and a single proton, like went through his head.
Oh my God.
And it messed him up in a really weird way, but didn't kill him. It just like screwed with his brain because it
Oh my gosh, what if
moved
they've
this
done that to,
single
like-
particle around.
It's not true.
Yeah.
It couldn't be anything.
I don't
But
think
he's-
that happened.
What could that pop? No, that's not anything.
That sounds, that sounds like a Reddit thread. That definitely
Sounds like Dr. Manhattan's origin story.
I think it's true. Oh, it is
did that
true.
to the
Well,
Yeah,
color me
everyone just got a single
surprised.
proton fired through
So
their
wait,
brain.
And then now
someone
they're all-
went into the Large Hadron Collider?
What happened to him? This
Oh, now I need to know this.
the animal was a weasel, apparently, according to chat.
Oh man, wow. Don't Google dangers of the Large Hadron Collider. You'll get a lot of weird websites. What happened to the scientist who stuck his head inside a particle of the accelerator? It actually is true.
So one single particle messed this guy up?
Well, I don't know if he's even messed up. I'm just saying the fact that it happened. What happens when a beam of subatomic particles traveling nearly at the speed of light meets the flesh of a human body? Perhaps because the realms of particle physics and biology are conceptually so far removed, it's only lay people who lack the intuition to answer the question, but also some professional physicists. In a 2010 YouTube interview with a member of the physics and astronomy faculty at the University of Nottingham, several academic experts admitted that they had little idea of what would happen if you were to do it. Yeah, but what actually happened? July 13th, 1978, a Soviet scientist named Anatoly Burgorsky stuck his head into a particle accelerator, and on that fateful day, he was checking whether it was malfunctioning, the largest particle accelerator in the Soviet Union. When a safety mechanism failed, and a beam of protons traveling at the speed of light passed straight through his head.
See, a beam of protons, not a single particle that was...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible that at one point in history, no other human being had experienced a focused beam of radiation at such high energy, although proton therapy, a cancer treatment that uses proton beams to destroy tumors, was pioneered before this incident. But what happened to him?
The specific thing I took issue with was the idea that a single proton thrown at a person's head.
Well, this also never
Most
happened
of-
at the Large Hadron Collider. This happened
I think they
years
said
ago.
it happened in the Large
They
Hadron
didn't?
Collider.
Oh, okay.
But at that scale, your head is mostly empty space. At every scale, Tim's is mostly empty space. But at this one, the space between the atoms is greater than the particles. The idea that it could like do enough damage, like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a beam of particles, sure, I buy that.
Yeah, but it changed him.
Well, like everything is
Powers.
I heard this Incan scientist explaining the reason the pyramids are there is because protons are flying at Earth from outer space because the Earth's magnetic core is negatively charged because of it's just iron, and so the protons fly through the surface of Earth through our
Okay.
bodies, causing free radical damage, and then when they get close to the center of the Earth, the positive energy at the center forces it to repel and go flying back out and back through our bodies again. So they built these pyramids to channel the positive energy on its way back out and focus it through a point to like gather it up from the surroundings so it didn't cause free radical damage on the humans.
Naturally. Did you follow that one? I gotta pee. Did I hear that right?
I think you said naturally.
Oh, naturally.
Let's-
also ridiculous.
To like gather it up from the surroundings so it didn't cause free radical damage on the humans.
I got an
the
easier. I got
Egyptians
an,
Oh,
are
okay.
so smart.
yeah. I heard that from an Incan scientist. That,
Yeah, no, of course. Naturally.
they're shooting the ions back into space or whatever the fuck.
Oh, it's because we have a negative charge as a planet, so that's what happens because of all the iron in the core of the Earth.
Just like he just said all of that, and none of them were like, I don't know. It sure sounds like that's not true at all.
That's a lot of words to come out of your mouth and not be contested on. That's a lot of bizarre statements. He's not even saying like in a movie. It's like I once heard, and they went on a diatribe. Yeah,
Because I'm gonna
zero pushback.
If that is what they're for, how come they buried a bunch of pharaohs in them? Why did they put the dead pharaoh in the fucking thing? If it's for like, oh yeah, it doesn't attract the magnetic ions correctly.
The Egyptians
unless
were
there's a
so
pharaoh in the
smart.
center.
They were so smart.
Yeah, they're so smart.
Yeah, they had batteries and flying ships.
I think what happened, Moonlord, was pharaohs died, and they were like, "Oh, put me in the biggest triangle you can build," and then they got a bunch of slaves to make triangles. Like that's It doesn't require a greater explanation than that.
Oh, Moonlord said
Why the
Incan.
pyramids
Never
all
mind. Oh, okay.
I was an Incan scientist.
He said that, and then someone else was like, "The Egyptians were so smart."
I took that to mean she was thinking she doesn't know that Incans built pyramids.
Yeah.
She thought the Incan scientist was talking about the Egyptian pyramids.
Oh, that's funny. Do go on. Let's learn
People
more
didn't
about
know that
science and
much. It was the
history.
easiest thing to build. Let me stack rocks like this. There you go. You build a structure. You stack some rocks.
Yeah, it might have been like also a tomb,
Idiots.
also a battery. It was capped
Yeah.
with
How's it a
gold, which is a
battery?
superconductor. Well, if there was, it looks like there's
That could have
water
been a lot of
channels inside
things.
of it, and if there's a
I was
charge,
just joking
like,
about this.
It's probably a giant battery that they would use to power their Gundams.
Yeah, I think that's if I
the-
understand Egyptian history properly, that's the thing that was happening. Yeah.
Yeah, because back then, this was before they nerfed pyramids, because we live in a simulation, of course. But they would use pyramids to power their Gundams that they could attack the moderators that would come at their battleships.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And yeah,
Sense? Yeah.
I mean, we now know. We now know that like it's a good thing, but we now know.
there's this thing called the Telluric current in the Earth. That's like this low frequency magnetic current flows, and apparently it's strong under where the pyramids are. Tesla was working on
Telluric.
it. Telluric.
Earth current.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's an
know
electric
about that. That
current
is
that moves through moves underground or through the sea. Telluric currents result from both natural causes and human activity, and the discrete currents interact in a complex pattern. The currents are extremely low frequency and travel over large areas at or near the surface of the Earth.
Can I say
Interesting.
one thing into
Wow.
their
Wikipedia says it's
particular brand of conflating whatever you saw recently on the History Channel with actual history and knowledge. It's a pretty kind of weird racist trope to consistently try to explain the achievements of other civilizations as having to be involved with either aliens or future technology, or the only way they could have done something or accomplished something of this scale or grandeur was if they had some deep connection with like stuff beyond anything they were possibly capable of having in that era, and that we just don't know. There's no way of answering this. When it's like, well, yeah, I mean, there's pretty good explanation as to why they were accomplishing those kind of feats, and it was on the backs of slaves. It was an incredible amount of human labor, suffering, and death that accounted for that, and it is an incredible accomplishment what they pulled off, no question. But it's also doesn't need aliens and superhuman things to explain it.
I've always liked the explanation that the reason the aliens went to all of these other ancient cultures and gave them these amazing technological advantages is it's just the one culture they didn't want to talk to was white people.
I know.
Fuck them. Let them figure it out on their own. Fuck those guys.
Unfortunately, white folk,
What
we
if
had
you had to
to
build a giant
pick ourselves
pyramid?
up from our bootstraps because the aliens wouldn't visit us. But they were cool visiting everyone else. Yeah, everyone else was great. Yeah.
Gave them giant super batteries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's all the gifts. You can have all the poggers. Here you go. Enjoy. You get the Gundam battles.
Tesla was tapping into it and trying to send electricity through the ground, and people obviously wanted to sell their copper wires, so they shut that down. But I think this technology might be.
That's just the sentence that came out of your mouth, and he's switching so quickly. And you know what? Even if he ended there, even if that was the period at the end of the sentence, he wouldn't be contested on it. No one would question the things that just came out of Moonlord's mouth in any way, shape, or form. But no, makes sense.
I just want to live in the world they live in, where like there's this secret, like everything they've ever seen in a science fiction movie is real right now. Mm-hmm. You know, like
no, we have that. We have for a while. Yeah.
Tesla invented it, but Big Copper shut it down.
And then when they get the world's marvels, they want to use it to smell Skyrim. It's like on the bounty of technology. If the aliens came down to the Tim Pool show, that would be the first thing he asks for. Is like, hey, can you let us smell video games? I've waited so long.
You look at that and you think, what's a better, more appropriate use for like this amazing technology of like implanting technology into people? Mm-hmm. The one that they dismiss out of hand as like a waste of time and self-evidently a bad idea is a microchip that scans your body for diseases and then pulls them out of your blood
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah, that
Like,
one they're like,
that's
ew,
dumb.
gross. Yeah. Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah, do you want that? Do you want that? It's something we
Wasted time.
we may tangibly have.
No, but what if you could fuck a cyber waifu?
And feel it, bro. What if you could feel
Yeah.
it and smell it? If you could smell it.
Drones are these things that we're seeing flying around.
Like
might
what
be
they're charged by it.
possibly, or
maybe,
it's onboard
maybe.
fusion, or it's like
Yeah.
a light, or it's
Yeah,
like,
what-
a,
or a
like
light.
refraction that we think is a craft.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like solid state batteries.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
they,
Yeah, no, yeah. It could be
Maybe.
any of these things, or
Maybe.
it could be just they saw some shit and they don't know what it is. Could have
Yeah.
been a fucking bird.
Yeah,
Could have been a bird.
could have
They
been.
saw a bird, Tim.
No way of knowing.
One developed and we don't know
They
about
could
yet.
just be batteries.
someone could have just developed it. I mean, they're watching the
Like how
military
Lord
forces
slipped
and
that one in there,
they're
but because of the level of discourse, no one stopped. They could just be batteries. People could be batteries. Have you seen The Matrix? But no, just like dust in the wind. You know?
It could be gin.
Yeah,
Could be wind spirits.
Could be any number of things. Yeah, effervescent
I'm not
salts.
gonna rule out that it's a Digimon just yet.
No,
I don't
no.
think the evidence is there to rule out a
No.
Digimon, but
Yeah,
it
no.
could be.
No, might. You know, we're just asking questions.
North Korea and they're hitting all the targets. But what if it's just some dude in his basement?
I
hope
mean,
so.
You know,
like
like-
that's like Lex Luthor level stuff.
Yeah.
Having these drones that defy modern technology.
like Jeff
Oh!
Bezos.
I don't think maybe
Jeff, I love you, and you're not Lex Luthor, but
Yeah.
your shaved head makes you.
Weird.
And you know what? I've been-
Weird.
I don't think Jeff Bezos is watching.
No, and on top of that, why? Like, I don't. What do you get from sucking up to Jeff Bezos? Like on any level, or is it? I mean, I guess it makes sense if your whole meritocratic view of the world is that this is a man who has certainly picked himself up from his bootstraps. I equate success and money with human value, so he's a very valuable human to me.
I think just the raw sexual charisma of Jeff Bezos
True.
is enough.
I
right?
hadn't
Like,
even thought of that. Yes, there is a lot of energy
Yeah.
there. Yes, definitely.
He's like a big battery.
Big old human battery. I can't wait to get charged off him.
Mark Zuckerberg, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
he's
so
just
Nothing wrong with him.
cool.
Yeah, he's
Mark Zuckerberg, just great.
If there's
Jeff
one
Bezos,
word I would use to describe Mark
God, I
Zuckerberg,
love that.
it's
Well,
cool.
Amazon wouldn't be.
It's always been
drone
cool.
tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
He gives
his
off
cool
those
haircut
vibes.
and-
Yeah, he likes smoked meats. Have you heard that? He likes smoking meats. He likes smoking meats in his backyard, so there's that as well. Definitely cool.
That reminds me of the interview in Mark Zuckerberg's home where he puts a piece of bread in the toaster. And then in media res, they're sitting there, the toast pops up. He takes that toast out of the toaster, just starts munching away. No butter, no peanut butter, no nothing. Just chomp, chomp, chomp on this dry toast in the middle of an interview.
Yeah, which is cool. Which is
one of the
cool as
most-
fuck.
like-
fuck, there's nothing more based. Just mowing down on some unseasoned bread. Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
Just straight out of the toaster, chomp, chomp, chomp. You gotta have it extra dry. I'm just like you. I'm just like everyone else. I eat my toast right from the toaster.
I don't understand the panel of at least 20 employees that I had to ask and get, find out what would be the most, relatable thing I could do in this. They were wrong. They were wrong. I mean, when you refer to your panel of 20 people on how to act more human in public, do they not give you toast as a suggestion? Yeah, he's cool. He's
Oof,
cool.
dude.
Have you seen the amount of cream he
Cool.
wears when he goes boogie boarding? He's cool.
Yeah, but like obviously the left is going to make fun of him for that because they're bitter that he has so much money. But like,
Yeah, I know.
that protects your face from the sun.
It does.
Because pyramids aren't working anymore. Like the pyramids don't do it anymore. They don't
No.
protect us from the free radical damage.
They don't. Or
So
the energy.
you gotta do something.
Or the energy below us at all times. The Earth is
Yeah.
the Earth is negative energy because of all the iron. So that's why we need to do cream up.
Tesla was going to fix it, but then Big Copper got to him. You know how it is.
I love how it's like very obvious we don't like them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bezos has like a secret lab where he's doing crazy stuff.
Dude, I mean,
I
that is
would.
the story.
Yeah.
The guy who's doing global shipping, drones, helping all these people,
That's what
also
I'm thinking.
secretly spying on American military bases.
You can't be serious. You know that he's spying on us, right? Like you know that Jeff Bezos is absolutely spying on everybody.
No, he's altruistic. He's a benevolent. He's a benevolent Bezos.
His company literally just started selling microphones for people to put them in their house that listen to us all the time.
But it's to help you, so your lights turn on when you want them to. Because if you don't have his 24/7 online microphone, your lights won't coordinate properly, and you can make grocery lists. We didn't have that before, but now you can be like, here's the things I need to buy.
And what are you going to do? Speak it into the computer you carry around with you everywhere? No, obviously not. You need a separate device.
Yes,
always connected to the internet and
24/7.
Yeah, dedicated microphone that's there to listen when you need to turn the lights on. How else are you going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
It was funny when I tweeted at Elon Musk. I was like, hey, Elon, why haven't you built an Iron Man suit yet? And he tweeted back, building Starship. And I'm like, all right, fair point. You know, it's like,
high point,
okay, you know,
High point.
I mean, the only good news is that it's only right now to sell you shit. Okay, it's just that's why they're doing it. It's just to sell you more things. It's not anything nearly as supernatural or evil as they want to make it out to be.
Just this fucking rube.
The self-awareness has turned up.
The reason Elon Musk isn't building an Iron Man suit is because A, he doesn't know how. B, Iron Man isn't real. Tim. Building starships, Timothy. You fucking rube.
Point, yeah.
acceptable.
So he's doing the shield thing. Isn't
He's
shield?
building a ship to go to Mars.
Didn't Shield have like a space in orbit? Nick Fury's
No, they're the
company, Shield?
helicarriers. You're thinking Justice League had the Batman thing in space.
Okay, so he's doing.
Fucking idiot.
And now,
It's not Shield. What's wrong with you?
yeah.
Shield didn't go in space. Nick
Yeah.
Fury was never in space except for one time at the end of Spider-Man. He was in space. That did happen one time. But you're thinking of Batman, you idiot.
By the by, not going to call out Moonlord on any of the batshit stuff he's been saying, but the second he steps on comic books,
no.
Tim Pool is fucking on the draw. You know, instantaneously. Whoa! I can't allow that to be said on my show, and like have the audience think that we're saying something duplicitous. They might get the wrong idea. Come on.
Realize the letters we're gonna get if you just say that shit. Like,
no.
how ignorant
You are
sound?
starting a flame war, Moonlord. I can't allow this to go on. Okay,
Oh, boy.
you're wrong. You're factually incorrect.
He's doing Justice League first.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast.
That one was fun. That felt like a good old fashioned. You know, it was
Went
mostly
some
harmless.
places.
Well, like I didn't have to hear about their vilification of trans people, or they're saying that Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong, or any of that kind of stuff. Like it was just good old fashioned, unadulterated, silly.
I do say I'm growing to appreciate Moonlord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At first, like the loss of Weedlord really stung.
Yep.
Because we had built up a real narrative for Weedlord that he was harangued and a kind person deep down who could be redeemed.
Yeah.
Moonlord just brings like such an aggressive tinfoil hat energy to everything he says.
Yes.
It's like he's so confident when he says the wildest stuff.
And he's finally found a platform where A, he doesn't get questioned on it, and B, can get paid to say those things. It's like it's a very rare gift for him to have found this niche in life, because there's very little places where that can occur, like let alone be successful at it. Can you imagine? Like there's not a lot of workforces that'll allow someone like that to just be like, by the way, did you know? Like I was like, well, yeah, you're not allowed to be here anymore. You can't keep talking about how Chinese people are inventing technology that's trying to kill us. Like it's very frightening.
It's like we'll make fun of them and then they'll clarify, oh, we were joking, or they'll bring up the thing we said, and we'll feel embarrassed by that. We'll be like, oh, geez, well, I guess, obviously we were underestimated, that we'll be embarrassed, right? Mm-hmm. But then they'll just get up and be like, so when I think about this 3 sentences I read from a Daily Mail article, it's probably a space battery. Or either that, or we're a zoo. It's probably what it is.
Well, it's one of three things. All right, we've nailed it down. Yeah. It's one of the three things, or it's just people trying to push some kind of radical agenda in politics. It's a radical political agenda. That's what it is.
Probably, yeah.
Because of
how that story was everywhere. That's how you distract people.
Yeah,
it's what the people are into.
Yeah, the consent has been manufactured.
It's not, the popular entertainment that you could use to distract people wouldn't be something like, I don't know, Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because Tim likes those.
Yeah, no, they're great. Yeah. and there's more than ever.
Hey, do you like movies? Do you like Serfs? Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, I'm Raft and Xander Corvus. We shall build golden idols in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker. Our soft, spongy flesh is yours to command. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, Bisexual Black Gamer, Toe Fox, and Jeffrey Lamb, we proudly carry your sigils onto the battlefield. And to our Knights of the Round Table, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Callie Kotka, The Great Pudini, Von Janny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Encosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd LaJeunesse, and Constance Joyce LaCheris. We tip our cap and lift our mug and salute you.
All right, I think I'll give my thanks for like 15 minutes to everyone who's been subbing in the background while we ignore them, and then I'll raid into the goo crew.
Goo crew, piss gang goo crew.
Stop saying that. It's not sticking. I refuse.
Well, I hope not.
Ew.
If it is, you gotta drink more water, dude.
Hey, Thought Slime, where can people find you if they want more of your irreverent takes?
They can find me over at www.lancepissgang.com.
God damn it. The same people are saying piss on me and beat me.
Nice. And you know what's great is that nothing bad will happen to me because of this. These people are all going to raid into my chat and I'll be fine.
Oh, you're the worst. All right. Now I need to talk to all of you about these names. These horrible names. Terrible names. They will not abide. I will not stand by as our good name is sullied and sprayed upon. Terrible, awful, terrible, awful names. No, shame upon you all. Shame upon you all. It's not becoming.